So guys, it has been 2 years since I got fired from my full-time job and became a full-time YouTuber, content creator, person who plays guitar terribly on the internet for money. How do I feel about it? Alright guys, hope you're having a great day out there today. If this is your first time here at my channel, my name is Kyle, and what I typically do is I take all sorts of awesome high gain related guitar equipment, I record it with a simple setup, and I give you the unprocessed audio on your end. But today we're doing something a little different. We're just gonna kind of reflect on the state of the channel together. If you can't tell by my voice and how tired I look in the camera, I have just woken up. It is like 10:30 in the morning. That's not normal for me, by the way. But yesterday was the last day of Sweetwater's GearFest 2023. Just an absolutely fantastic time for myself and for the other creators. Sweetwater brought us all out here, brought us together, basically just gave us an opportunity to not only meet some of the brands that Sweetwater works with, but to meet each other and kind of form a camaraderie. And for many of us, just get the chance to actually be in the same room as people who do what we do for a living. And I'm incredibly grateful for that. It really has been just there's no other way to say it. It's kind of been a life-changing experience for me. And I'll tell you why here shortly. But yeah, people who have been following the channel for a little while now, I mean, this channel is a little over 2.5 years old at this point. So it's kind of crazy that it's been that long, but at the same time, man, like, this thing is still young. It's still growing. It's brought me way more changes to my life in the best way possible than I ever could have imagined. And I have all of you guys who watch these videos to thank for that. Thank you guys so much for all the support and for following me since the beginning. Those of you that have, thank you. If you're a relatively new viewer, I'm just stoked to have everybody here. But yeah, if you're unfamiliar with this story, I started a YouTube channel back in December roughly of 2021, basically just to kind of document my amp collection, because at the time I had a lot of really cool amps and I was part of some forums and Facebook groups where people were asking me questions about those amps. You know, how do they compare to other amps? How do they sound in general? How do they feel? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you know what? I should probably just like throw up some demo videos. I'm very self-conscious about my playing. That part still hasn't changed, but I just love amplifiers and I want to share them with the world. So a good friend of mine, a follower of the channel, and a fellow YouTuber, John Brown, no, not Architects John Brown, another John Brown, equally as awesome of a person. I actually saw him post a video where he had hooked up some sort of a preamp directly to his phone, because when I started this channel, I did not own a camera and I did not know how to edit video. I didn't know how to sync audio and video together in a video editing program, which is pretty much what always kept me from starting a YouTube channel. I just had really no knowledge of how to get started in any way, shape, or form. But he posted a video about a little preamp called a TC Helicon Go that hooks up to your phone, and you can like connect an SM57 directly to your phone, so that way your phone audio is, like, you know, at least at the quality of something like a Focusrite Scarlett, a regular studio preamp, something like that. So I thought that that was really cool. It was something that I was like, oh, well, that would kind of take out the guesswork of trying to sync audio and video, and I could start throwing up demos. I hit him up, he gave me that information, I ordered one. I made the very first playthrough video, which I'm pretty sure is a PV Triumph.
Wrong.
We're gonna take a look at the 5153 50 watt EL34 model from EVH. I somehow had, I don't even remember now how I had figured out how to get both my voice and the audio from the amplifier, but I did one video where I was on camera to start, and I hated that. I hated how I felt. I felt so awkward. I felt like I didn't know what to say. I felt like a potato on the camera. And so the next like 7 or 8 videos were all just a camera on an amplifier, Resomatic style, just playing, dialing, you know, changing knobs, changing settings. I even had like an overdrive on top that I would turn on and off. And those first few videos got way more traction than I ever expected. Like, most of them broke 1,000 views within a couple of days, which, I mean, even still now thinking back, that's crazy, because some of my videos now, 28,000 subscribers later, don't break 1,000 views. So there was something about just the time of those early videos where I was posting them on Facebook and stuff. They just got traction really quickly. And I kind of started thinking more and more about the channel, started evolving the video style, and the more work I put into it, the more people who basically followed. Like, the channel grew quickly. I started putting myself on camera, even though I felt super awkward because people were asking questions. So I started the Fakin' Friday series, which I would actually love to bring back this summer. So let me know down in the comments if you guys want to see me bring back Fakin' Friday, where I answer the audience questions on the channel. But yeah, I mean, long story short, I was putting work into the channel. It was growing, and I have an obsessive personality. So as soon as I kind of get the taste of something that I really enjoy, it's like, that's all I can think about, and I just hammer away on it. And that's what I did. It even got to the point where I was getting like paid demo opportunities when my channel was 6 or 7 months old. I had larger YouTubers who I had followed and respected for years reaching out to me to tell me that they loved what I was doing. Fluff being one of the first ones, Aggifish, who also is like an amp nerd, whether you may know that or not based on his channel. He literally does amps. That's a little inside joke for Hunter. But like, people were taking notice. Rev Amplification sent me a generator like way early on, like way before any of this crazy stuff I'm about to tell you happened. And yeah, it was getting a lot of traction, and I was really blown away by that. And I really started to make plans in my mind of like, hey, maybe this YouTube thing could be something. Like, maybe one day, like 5 or 6 years down the road, like I could turn this into a career. Like, and that just gave me enough motivation to just keep plugging and keep trying to get better. So essentially what happened was, I was working a job for 5 years as a logistics manager of a heavy machinery equipment company. I started out enjoying the job. I got to work with my best friend, and he's the one who actually got me the job. And that job changed my life in a financial aspect, because for the first time ever, I was making good money, and I was actually able to invest my money in gear, as opposed to just like buying a couple guitars and then having to sell them as soon as a bill or something came up. So not only did that job allow me to get myself out of debt, but that's kind of what got the ball rolling with my entire gear collection to really start growing. But over the years, things had been happening at this job. A lot of the employees were unhappy with the management and some of the rules that they were implementing, and I was definitely one of those people. So like, I really started focusing on the YouTube channel as something to pull me out of that situation at some point. And it got to the point where, like, right before all this happened, I had set a plan for myself to actually just quit in October of that year. And everything that I'm telling you right now happened in July. So like, I was like, we're gonna fast track this. I'll be fine if I don't have a full-time job, and I just focus all my energy on this channel. Well, lo and behold, they made that decision for me, because something happened while I was at work that I was very unhappy with. I voiced my displeasure of it. The company did not like me standing up for myself, and I ended up getting terminated. So they set all of this in motion just a few months earlier than I was originally expecting, but I got a nice little severance package. So really it kind of worked out, because I got a paid head start on my new career as a full-time YouTuber. But yeah, that was in July of 2021. It is now June, the end of June of 2023. So it's been 2 years, guys. It's been 2 years since I took this dive into becoming a full-time YouTuber. And why this whole GearFest experience was so important to me is I got to meet up for the first time with a bunch of other people who do what I do. I got to hang out with Fluff, got to hang out with Aggifish, I got to hang out with Andrew Baina and Johnny Got Growls. I don't remember what your last name is, Johnny. I think it was something Italian and hard to pronounce. So Johnny, which, dude, those two, I spent more time with those two dudes than anybody, and I genuinely consider them like great friends after this week. Got to meet Henning Pauly, got to meet Bill McKnight, got to meet Ryan and Steve of 60 Cycle Hum, among many others. And I spent a lot of time with these guys because they were all about the community aspect. Did I mention Ben Eller? How could I forget Uncle Ben? If I didn't mention Ben, man, Ben, he's a part of why I'm making this video. So hang tight. But yeah, I mean, you don't get to talk to other people who do what you do when you're a full-time YouTuber most of the time in person. Like, you text and message through the internet and everything, and that's great, but there's nothing that replaces a face-to-face connection. And I got that in spades over the last few days, and it was literally like so wholesome. Like, nobody here is competing against each other. Not one person gave me the cold shoulder or the side eye. They literally welcomed me in with open arms, and they're like, hey, you're one of us, man. Like, come on, get over here. Like, we're gonna hang out. We're gonna get to know each other, and it's gonna be a great time. And it was. It really genuinely has made me feel so much better about this industry, which I already feel great about, because there are companies who are really appreciative of what I do that message me just to thank me for videos and stuff like that, which blows my mind, because some of these companies are like established in the industry. They don't need my help, but like they still appreciate what I'm doing, and they feel the need to reach out and tell me that, and that's so cool. But to actually get to experience that firsthand in person and get to talk to, you know, not only channels that I've looked up to forever, or I've consumed all of their content for years, but to have them literally like see me and be like, hey, come over here, you're one of us. Like, that was literally a just life-changing moment. And I've never felt so at home with a group of people ever. Like, even in the hardcore and punk community, where I've been around for 20 years, and that's kind of what I've based my life around. Like, I still feel awkward at shows sometimes, or with certain groups of people, and like, that did not happen once this week. Like, everybody just welcomed me with open arms, and we're like such great down-to-earth people, and the conversation was either fun or it was about work, and they literally only wanted to help, giving me tips on, you know, things to do, ways to work with companies. Like, not one of them was like trying to sabotage me for their own benefit or anything. Like, they all genuinely cared about me and the growth of my channel. Just cultivating a community where like it's great for the content creators. Like, we're just trying to make this as good as we can for ourselves, because ultimately that makes it good for you, the audience, or better for you, the audience, because we're all working behind the scenes to get these companies on board with us, so that way we can bring you guys the stuff that you want to see and make it mutually beneficial for everybody. And what a cool environment, man. Like, Sweetwater facilitated that. Tyler and Josh behind the scenes, and everybody else at Sweetwater, guys, thank you so much. Like, this has been such an incredible opportunity that I will never, ever, ever forget. And I'm literally already like got post-show blues from just hanging out and meeting so many cool people. And just, I'm not a super social person, but this whole week I was just like on a different level of like a high. It literally was a high, because even my fiance will tell you, like, I'm not a social person. Social settings make me very anxious and uncomfortable. And like, I felt like I was on top of the world this entire week, and just talking to everybody, and I just couldn't get enough of like hanging out. I usually go to bed at 10 o'clock, and I was out until at least 1 o'clock in the morning almost every night, like willfully going to bars, places that make me uncomfortable, just so I could hang out with these people more. So it was so cool, guys. And like, none of this would have happened without you guys, the viewers, supporting the channel. When I first got fired and told you all that I was gonna go full time with this, like, the amount of comments were ridiculously supportive. And I just can't thank you guys enough for getting behind me when this all happened. I made a video a year ago saying it's been a year since I've been a content creator. It's not quite what I expected. And that video got a ton of traction, and you guys all got behind me once again, and we're like, dude, you got this. Like, you know, we're behind you 100%. Keep doing what you're doing. We love what you do. And that blew me away, and it re-energized me again. So here we are another year later, and I'm making the same video just saying, like, this is crazy. Thank you for the support. I keep getting all these life-changing opportunities and attending things like this that are just like reinstilling the confidence that like I am in the right place. For the first time in my life, I am doing the thing that I should be doing, where I feel at home. And that's incredible. And I told Ben Eller, because Ben Eller reached out to me right around the time that I got fired, and he knew that I was going full time. He followed the channel early on, which is still so cool to me. And he was like, hey man, everybody loves what you're doing. Like, keep doing what you're doing. If you need anything, hit up me, hit up Fluff. And that, I was almost in tears telling him that the other night, because it was like, You have no idea what that meant to me in that moment where I'm like panicking about my life and I'm just like, what am I gonna do? Am I cut out for this? No, I suck at this. Like, this is such a bad decision. And I've got Ben Eller messaging me out of the blue saying like, dude, you got this. Like, we're behind you. Like, you're great. Go. And just like getting a message like that from him and from Fluff, just like gave me what I needed. They gave me the confidence to know that like, okay, I can do this. If these guys say I can do this, like, I believe them. So I'm gonna do this. And it's been just an amazing ride ever since. That every day I wake up, I get to do what I wanna do and, you know, interface with you guys and play with guitar gear and get paid for it. That is in no way a humble brag. It's not meant to be, but it's just like, it's a pinch myself thing on a daily basis. Like, how is this my life? What did I do to deserve this? I have imposter syndrome. I don't feel like this is supposed to be for me. Like, this is all gonna come crashing down at any minute. So I just work even harder and I try to make sure that that doesn't happen, because this has truly been like one of the best things that ever happened to me. And again, this event this weekend just confirmed that for me all over again. Like, it was like, you're where you were supposed to be all along. So yeah, that was a long rambling story, but like, I just wanted to tell you guys like where I'm at. It's been 2 years since I've started to do this full time. There are moments when I don't think I'm cut out for it. There are moments when I question myself and my ability and my relatability and stuff like that. And then as soon as I start doing that, something happens and that all gets like completely reversed and I get re-energized, and that's what happened. And I just feel great. I feel inspired to do, you know, the stuff that you guys want to see and just make great content for you guys and content that makes me happy, and just continue to try to up my level of quality each and every time. And yeah, man, it's been a ride. I don't regret any of it for a single second, and I literally more than ever am excited for what the future holds for this channel and for us together. So again, eternally, thank you guys for the support. Thank you so much for getting behind my channel when it felt like maybe my life was falling apart. You guys gave me the push that allowed me to just like run full speed with this thing. Because if I didn't have your guys' support, if I didn't have you guys watching these videos and telling me that they're helpful and giving me the energy to keep going, like, I very well could have quit and just went back to another boring day job and been content, but probably, you know, still unhappy for the rest of my life. And now I get to do a dream job, and it's incredible. And yeah, thank you guys so much. So it's gonna do it for me today, guys. I'm still in the hotel in Fort Wayne. Like, I've got to drive home 5 hours. I literally just packed everything up, and before I left, I wanted to throw up a camera and just make this video because I'm feeling inspired. So thanks for watching, guys. If you made it all the way through, really appreciate you, and we will see you soon for some more belligerent amateur content. See you guys.
You know what this wall is missing? Another amp. There we go.